Welcome and welcome back. Welcome to the Immortal Gunlance build. This has took us down a long, strange Church of Gunlance road, which has educated us in looking at crit builds and looking at raw damage builds and looking at really fine-tuning what the real playstyle is. And we've ended up in a negative affinity, pure DPS, raw damage is king build, which has been quite refreshing to step away from critical hits due to the fact that our shelling is our main form of damage. It's a great weapon, it's a fun weapon, and it's got a completely different playstyle than anything I've used before. But coming into it, we wanted to make sure that we could build immortality in this with superb levels of regen. What this is doing with the bulk healing in the clip that I'm about to put on the screen now, it's outputting huge shelling damage, doing a lot of DPS consistently, irregardless of blue sharpness, but also with the Numinous Shroud and the Numinous Crown kicking in the Zoh Shia passive healing, it is consistently healing us. We're going to have squeezed in recovery speed here, which is going to have got back to level 3 to allow us to move as quick as possible with a quadruple speed, but also coupling in 2 Arc Vulcan pieces to give us the big bulk of chunk healing. So what this does, which you will also see if you monitor the health throughout the clip, you will see that there is big chunks of HP being added back to my health, pushing me back to maximum health on a consistent basis. But it's been an absolute joy to behold. Moving into the skills, looks like a simple build. Believe me, it took some testing to get this right, but we're using artillery 3 and we're going to make sure that we can put out as much speed and power in our shelling that we can. And then guard level 3. 2 of the levels of guard come from the weapon itself, being the lawful bars, and then coming into load shells. This in itself has to be in here because it is a wide gun lance, which is going to give us the extra loading capacity +1. What that's going to do is it's going to give us 1 extra bullet, so to speak, which is going to enable us to do a lot more damage over an accumulation of time across a big hunt. But coupling these 3 skills together across the weapon with the 1 level of offensive guard, due to getting used to timing them perfect guards with any shield based weapon that you've been used to before, is going to buff that DPS in a huge way. Agitator level 5, we wanted another 20 attack. It's going to get us out of that negative affinity through certain phases, but it's irrelevant. We want the attack to come from that. And then burst, because we want the stat buff, which is going to give us even more base raw attack and enable us to do as much damage as possible. Counter-Strike's playing the same role. And you're going to get snuck back at some point. You're going to be able to stack that back and then hit that monster so hard, it's unreal. And then recovery speed, like we've mentioned. Don't need to say any more about it. You couple this level 3 recovery speed with the rest of the healing ability that this passive set of armor has got. You are incredible at staying alive. Not only that, you can be on that monster's nose on a consistent basis as much as you want to. Once you get used to that guard and that healing is constantly happening, you are immortal, to say the least. And then convert element. This has been squeezed in to give us a bit more dragon damage and dragon attack. It's a 250 base dragon. There's not a lot of this being put into play during the way that the playstyle of the Gunlance is, but it's always nice to have for that extra bit of damage. And then coalescence level 2, playing exactly the same role to give us as much element damage as one when we're actually hitting with the blade of the Gunlance itself. And then quick sheath level 1 squeezes in accidentally. It's always nice to have to put your weapon away, roll, maybe get close to that monster, bridge the gap if you've got a big gap to bridge. And then Zoh Shia's pulse. We're going to be on 3 pieces here to give us the regen past the red health, and then ARKVELD's hunger for the big chunk of damage. It says recovery varies by weapon. This is classed as a heavy weapon, so you will see, like in the clip at the beginning, where you're getting big chunks of that HP back, coupling that with a quadruple recovery speed. My god, are you doing a lot of damage and you're doing a lot of healing. This has been a joy to behold. Really enjoyed it. The playstyle is completely different than anything that I'm used to, but it's tons of fun. I'm not going to lie to you, give it a shot. There's a couple of different builds that I've trialed with this. I'll give you a quick example of the ones that I've been working with. Using the Zoh Gunlance, you'll see artillery load shells and guard with the white flame torrent. Similar kind of set, with adaptability in there to try and look at doing that. And then the para artian one, which is coming in with a lot of level 3 gems to allow us to put together a little bit different of a build. But this lawful GL, the lawful boss, ARKVELD Gunlance, is another level. The damage is outrageous, the survivability is outrageous, and it's nice to be immortal. Really enjoyed it. Anything you would do differently to this, please let me know. It's gone through extensive testing. We've trialed multiple builds to try and see what we could get right, but overall this is where I have landed. Really enjoying it. But at 98 subscribers as we speak, absolutely blown away by it. We're about to hit 100 subscribers, more than likely by the morning. I appreciate every single one of you who's been part of the community, and thank everybody for supporting the channel so far. I really did not think it would go this quickly, this fast. But yeah, love you all to bits. I'm looking forward to the updates that are coming. We're going to be trialing every single weapon. We're going to be constantly evolving our builds. We're at 54 builds now and going. And then yeah, we're going to keep going from there. Big, exciting times ahead for Monster Hunter Wilds. But anything else you need, leave it in the comments. Leave a like and subscribe. You know the vibes. Peace.